Alright, everyone. It's been a little bit of a while since we've gone live. But we're doing another live podcast episode. And we are officially 1 month away from the start of the DCU. We are officially 1 month away from the start of the DCU. And there's nerves, there's a lot of emotions, and a lot of excitement. I don't know what is going to happen in the next 30 days, especially on launch day. I don't know what the numbers are going to look like. I feel confident that the movie will perform well. The question really remains, how well will it perform? That's, at the end of the day, the question that we must answer. Now, I will say it, and I will say it again. I believe that this movie can, in fact, hit the $1 billion club. I think it can. I think there's great promise. I think there's great odds that this movie will be the biggest movie of the year, and will, on top of that, break records that we have yet to see. Now, I understand what people are saying. Superman has never had a $1 billion movie. Superman has never been a $1 billion character. Now, I think that it's precisely because of the drought that DC has had and the anticipation that DC has coming forward. I think there's enough evidence to show that people are excited for this movie. And here's the thing. The DCEU movies were not necessarily meant for kids. They were not really designed for kids other than Wonder Woman. And maybe Aquaman. But overall, if you look at Man of Steel, if you look at BVS, if you look at Justice League even, none of that seems targeted for kids. There's nothing in that movie, to me, that a kid would necessarily want to see. Except for the fact that they're obviously comic book characters. But I think if you look at it from the idea of this is what we want, like, DC Comics has a huge kids market. That's just what it is. And the only way that we're going to grow the comic book industry is if we continue to market and grow our kid audiences, because if they grow up reading these comic books, if they grow up watching these movies, they will in fact fall in love with these characters. And I believe that one of the biggest reasons to why we're not seeing the same comic book sales as we have in the past is because kids nowadays aren't necessarily interested in comic books. Like, if they're a part of a family that likes comic books and introduces them to comic books, I think there's a very strong case that that kid is going to enjoy comic books. But if we look at what kids are interested in right now, I don't think comic books enter in that conversation for the most part. I think the DCU could change that. And the reason why I think the DCU could change that demographic is because I think James Gunn understands that in order to win with these comic book movies, you have to keep the kids in mind. Look at what is coming up in this slate. We have a Superman movie with the main feature being Crypto, the Superdog. So you literally have kids who just want to see this movie because of Crypto. And you have this idea that Superman is a hero for everyone. And the fact of the matter is I think the only movie that really embraced it being for kids was Wonder Woman in terms of the DCEU. Because you saw a lot of girls, like, dressed up as Wonder Woman, going to see the movie, and so on and so forth. And I don't think the DCEU succeeded enough to show that it was a universe where kids could enjoy it. Like, sure, some parents did take their kids to go see those movies, but I think that in general, what has been severely lacking in the industry is the want to bring kids into this fandom. And at the end of the day, yes, a lot of us are adults, but the thing is, we're not the ones that James Gunn needs to convince to watch these movies. We are not the ones that James Gunn needs to market for. Because we're going to see these movies no matter what. We are essentially guaranteed ticket sales. The people that he needs to convince are the families, the kids, and in general. He needs to be able to convince the people that this is more than just a comic book movie. And I think James Gunn is going to succeed in just that. James Gunn is succeeding in the marketing campaign because he is deliberately targeting specific advertisement categories. First of all, they partnered with Milk-Bone, which is obviously a dog company. They are a dog treat company specifically, meaning they understand that by targeting dog owners and showing them, hey, we have a dog in this movie and kids are going to love it. First of all, most people who have dogs also have kids. Like, it's an interesting statistic because when it comes to, like, cats don't necessarily mean that kids are around. But statistically speaking, if somebody has a dog, they're actually, like, more likely to have a kid or a family or something like that. Something about, I guess, dogs being for the family. Like I think I do believe that there's families that have just a dog, right? But in general, I think if you look at the like statistics and everything, I think if you break it down, dog equals family. Like, you will have a family if you have a dog. A lot of it has to do with the fact that dogs are high maintenance, meaning that you need kind of the kids to be able to keep the dog entertained and stuff like that. And I think by partnering with Milk-Bone, by partnering with these dog companies and making dog toys, having a dog bowl for a popcorn bucket, having dog merch, having, I think this is a very easy thing to do. I think they absolutely should have a dog tag. Like, not like the dog tag, like a military dog tag, but literally a dog tag shaped in the Superman emblem. Like, literally partner with, like, PetSmart or, like, Petco or whatever, and have those, like, those, like, little things that you can, like, press to put your, like, address on and stuff like that. Like, literally, that, I feel like, would be a game changer. Because imagine seeing so many dogs and their collars and looking and seeing them have, like, the little, like, Superman emblem. Like, that would be so fun. I don't know if they've actually done that, but James Gunn, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, highly recommend looking into that, maybe. Because I feel like there's a market to specifically target dog owners. Like, you literally have a dog in this movie. There are so many options that you can go for in order to specifically target like dog merch. Like, think about all the dog merch that you could get. You could get, like, Superman themed tennis balls. You could do like a Superman frisbee. I think you do a frisbee that's like blue and has like the emblem on it, or maybe have like a frisbee that maybe have like a frisbee like with a cape. I think I'm getting off topic. Maybe a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Wait, am I live on the wrong account? I might actually be live on the wrong account. Let me just double check. I don't know. Wait. Because it doesn't show that I'm live. 1 second. I just need to double check real quick. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Double check real quick. I have multiple accounts, so I just have to like double check real quick. Anyways, it'd be awkward if I was on the wrong account. I think that this movie is going to win on merchandise alone. Like, generally speaking, I think that this movie has merchandise down. I've already gotten, like, oh my god. I spent more money. I kind of forgot I ordered this because, like, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I knew it was probably, like, Superman related, but, like, I forgot what I had actually ordered and I couldn't find, like, the invoice for it. So I, like, literally opened this package that was, like, unmarked pretty much. And I'm like, okay, it's from McFarlane Toys, so obviously it's, like, something Superman related. So I open it and... oh, shoot. I think the green screen might actually be a problem. I forgot I ordered this. I literally forgot I ordered this. Because I had bought so much, like, on the DC shop. I literally forgot about this. And I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, oh. Yeah. Look at this, though. Look at this. I am personally funding, like, a majority of the, oh god. I'm personally funding this whole movie. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, 1 second. This isn't even including... oh my god. This isn't even including, this isn't even including the shirts. This isn't even the shirts that I've gotten. Or the toothbrush. You're a big Wonder Woman stan. My takes are incredible. That's why I follow. Appreciate it. Like, how much? I've never spent this much money on movie merch. Like, never. I have bought, like, everything that you could possibly get. And this is not even... this isn't even everything. I think I've gone broke over Superman merch. Mind you, I am not rich. I just have ADHD. That's my slogan. I am not rich. I just have ADHD. My impulsivity all right. My DCEU Wonder Woman take is this. The 2017 movie is fine. But here's the thing. The reason why people don't think that the DCEU movie, the 2017 version, is bad is simply because it was designed to be good. Meaning, if you look at the movie, first of all, it's a fish out of water story. So it makes sense that Diana doesn't sound quite right. You know, like she can get away with a lot of the wooden acting because like it's just set up that way. But also like 90% of the movie is action shots, meaning Gal Gadot's job in that movie is quite literally to look good and just stand there and look pretty. So it's like, it makes sense why the 2017 movie worked. Also, that's her same job in BVS. Like, truly, her BVS job is to stand there and look pretty. Like, she literally poses and has theme music. I don't think she says, like, more than 10 words in the BVS movie. Like, she introduces herself, and then she has her entrance. And then that's kind of it. Like, she doesn't speak in the BVS movie. She doesn't talk. Not really. And the scenes that she does talk, it doesn't require, like, a lot of acting. And then, when it comes to the sequel, here's where they messed up on the sequel. Where they messed up on the sequel was doing not what they did with 2017, and instead doing kind of the opposite and requiring a story that literally requires Wonder Woman to have emotions. Because her final speech is quite literally trying to convince the entire world to give up their wish. Mind you, not everybody's wish was bad, so there's also that. But, like, you're asking a talentless actress who is like a wooden plank to draw emotions in the final act and have that be the climax. Like, not to mention not to mention the 1,000 other reasons why Wonder Woman 1984 is bad. Like, let's be 100% clear. Even if Cheetah had gotten her powers through a wish instead of going through her god, she would never have revoked that wish. Never. Never would have done it. Never. People don't realize that Cheetah wants the power. I mean, sure, she doesn't want to be a cheetah. Like, no, she doesn't want that. But, I mean, Barbara's jealous of Wonder Woman's power. And she does want to be just as strong as Wonder Woman. Like, that's why she goes off in the comics to... I mean, part of it is curiosity, because part of it is, of course, just her wanting to be an archaeologist and is very curious about the history and everything. But in part of that, it's also seeking answers from a god who promises her this power. And, you know, the reason why that doesn't work is obviously because of the fact that when Cheetah meets the god, it considers her not pure, and therefore kind of turns on Barbara and turns her into the cheetah. At least that's like the most up-to-date version. That's like the Greg Rucka version, the Rebirth version. There are other versions of how Barbara becomes Cheetah, but I think that if they do the DCU, and they do Barbara Minerva specifically, which they seem to be, like, I guarantee you that character in Creature Commandos, the redhead one, within the lecture, I guarantee you that's Barbara Minerva. Guarantee you. Or, like, maybe, I mean, to be fair, he never named her specifically. But if you take in the fact that she is a very curious student who is learning about Themyscira and is very knowledgeable about Themyscira and has, like, the nerdy look down, that 100% is Barbara Minerva, and we have yet to see her transform into the cheetah. Which is exciting, because that means that if that is in fact Barbara Minerva, if that redheaded student is in fact Barbara Minerva, that means we are going to get a heartbreaking story from the Wonder Woman movie. Like, because I imagine, there's a lot of theories going around about what the Wonder Woman movie should or should not be about. Many are speculating that Cersei ends up appearing. Obviously, I think that is a strong contender because Cersei's already cast in the movie. Like, she's already cast. So it would make sense that Anya would be one of the main antagonists. But I think Cheetah will be there. And I think that she won't be Cheetah yet. I think she's going to be Barbara Minerva. I think we're going to see Barbara Minerva and Diana be best of friends. Because I think that Diana is going to be studying, becoming great friends with, like, because I think they're going to do probably DC Wonder Woman Rebirth. The Rebirth story. So that's essentially where Barbara Minerva and Diana are great friends. Great friends. And then Barbara Minerva goes off to, like, Africa and goes to seek out this god who Diana does not approve of because she believes that this deity does not have Barbara Minerva's good and, like, well-being in mind. So then she gives Barbara Minerva, like, a device and to use in case something goes wrong. And for a while we don't really hear back from Barbara Minerva. And then at the end of that story arc, it goes off, that device goes off. And Diana goes looking for Barbara Minerva and obviously gets greeted by Cheetah instead. And that storyline, I think, is definitely a winning contender because I think you can do two things at once. I think you can have Cersei be the main antagonist, and I think you can have the fall of Cheetah as well. And if they do it correctly, meaning they take Greg Rucka's story and they basically do that, I truly believe that there is potential for it to be a starting point in the return of Wonder Woman's greatness. Because there's a lot of stories that they can definitely use. There's a lot of bad ones that they can use. But I think James Gunn understands and knows the things that do and don't work. Now, in terms of aesthetic, I think he's probably going to use the George Perez aesthetic. Just because he's using the classic appearances. So he's using the classic version of Superman that we all know and love. And he's probably going to use the classic version of Batman too. Probably. We don't know. But probably. I think that James Gunn will take a lot from George Perez aesthetically. But here's the thing. The story itself isn't necessarily something that will translate well to a movie. Because George Perez is a very long story. It is a very long one. It would not work for a movie. But you can take some of George Perez's, especially when it comes to Cersei, specifically. When it comes to Cheetah, it's a little bit more complicated. Because Cheetah has multiple iterations as well. Like, it's not just one cheetah either. There's, like, multiple cheetahs. So it's like, technically, they could go with a lot of different versions. They don't even have to go with Barbara Minerva specifically. They could, in fact, go with Priscilla Rich. Priscilla Rich would be crazy. Priscilla Rich. Oh my god. I don't know what I want more, Priscilla or Barbara Minerva, because for those of you who don't know, Priscilla is the original cheetah. She is a woman dressed up as like a cheetah. But more specifically, when she comes back into the story, because she like returns from like the Silver Age, she is like that bitch. I kind of like Priscilla. I like the idea of Priscilla because she's like she's kind of like Cruella in a way. Hey Noah. Like Priscilla is very much like sort of like the Cruella de Vil. I'm not taking a guess right now. I think that they could do both. I think they're gonna both. I think it'd be funny to do both, actually. Like, have both a nod to Priscilla and Barbara Minerva, because also they do exist in the same universe together. Like, it wouldn't be bad if Priscilla and Barbara Minerva existed in the same iteration, because first of all, they played different roles in Diana's life, and second of all, they have the ability to pull off a storyline that didn't necessarily land well, which is essentially, I think initially Barbara Minerva offs Priscilla Rich, and then Priscilla Rich comes back angry and pissed off. And I think you could really tie that into like Aries or something like that, and have that be like a contrast. Now, having two cheetahs at the same time would be a little bit confusing. I think what you could do is you could have Barbara Minerva just be the regular human that she is, and have Priscilla Rich be the initial cheetah, and then have like some, like, I think you could do that. I think you have kind of the switch, because here's the thing. If you start out Barbara Minerva as a human and don't even like go down that path of her like falling off yet, and you address that in like the second movie, that's gonna be one of the most painful slow burns. Like, you're gonna have all the Wonder Woman fans crying. Like, if they pull it off right, and they do it to where like they build up this relationship between Barbara Minerva and Diana, and they build up this strong friendship that like maybe hints towards a relationship. And then at the peak of it, you have Barbara Minerva go off to do her archaeology thing, and it all comes crumbling down, because now the woman that Diana loves is her worst enemy. If done right, that storyline will break hearts. Absolutely. There's a delicacy in a lot of these stories, and James Gunn is good at setting something up and then using it later when you don't expect it, because you're not thinking about it, right? You're thinking of, oh, you know, it's kind of like when Flash was doing the Caitlin Snow, right? They were doing Caitlin Snow. Everyone was kind of waiting for that moment, right? Unfortunately, they didn't really do it. So, they didn't really do it well. But they were setting up Caitlin Snow to be a potential character that would have one of the greatest falling offs in, like, supervillain history in terms of storylines. They didn't commit to it, unfortunately, but they could have done it, right? That's an example where they set something up that could have been truly interesting to see. Like, let me see Killer Frost fall. I think they liked Danielle Panabaker a little bit too much to do that, but I feel like they were almost there. Because they almost did it with, I think it was season 2 or 3. Because, like, I think it was season 2. Because I think that's pretty much the only time we actually saw Killer Frost. I think, yeah, because that was like the Earth 2. That was like the Earth 2 season. I think that they can do that storyline for Barbara Minerva, but do it more effectively and actually fully commit to Barbara Minerva's downfall and being just this villain. And I think it would be very heartbreaking to see. But I also think it would be one of the best storylines. Because you could also tie in later on sort of a redemption arc for Barbara and have kind of Priscilla Rich take that mantle come afterwards. It's kind of tricky to figure out, okay, which one, because there's a lot to take from. I think this is what they do. I think they focus on Cersei, but set up Barbara Minerva. Wonder Woman is a character that doesn't need to be tall, per se. I mean, not as tall as people think it is, that she has to be. I would say the cutoff point would be like 5'7". Because here's the thing. Wonder Woman wears heels. She's gonna be wearing heels regardless. She's gonna be wearing wedges, probably. And that's gonna add height to that actress anyways. And there's ways where you can manipulate people's height on camera. They do it all the time. Tom Cruise is not the 6-foot guy that he is portrayed as in the Mission Impossible movies. He is, in fact, not that tall. Yet, people think that he is tall because of those movies. So it's like, if we can make Tom Cruise, who's like 5'1", like, seem to be tall, we can easily make a 5'7" actress seem to look tall. Like, it's not that hard. There's many times where you would be surprised to find out actors' real height because they don't seem that way. Like, for example, I'm not saying this is what they should do, but for example, Natalie Portman had to have a ramp. So funny. Natalie Portman had to have a ramp to be the proper height to be able to kiss Chris Hemsworth, who is like a skyscraper. So it's like, there's ways to do it to where you will never know what the height of that person is. Like, now, to be fair, you can't do too much of an extreme. I think that a reasonable height would be 5'7" and up. Taller, sure, is better, but I would much prefer a better actress. I think that a lot of the ones that I'm seeing are great choices. I think Katie O'Brien's a great choice. I think May Calloway is a good choice. From what I've seen, Aisha Gonzalez is a good choice. I don't think they need to be 6 feet. I am on board with the Elizabeth Debicki pick, but I can see it. I can see Elizabeth Debicki. I think obviously, like, she has the height to pull that off. Ariana Grande. The only I mean, I could see it being Elizabeth Debicki, but I mean, I don't honestly, I can see it. But I wouldn't be upset if Elizabeth Debicki got it. I think she can make her hair black and it's fine. I think that, Adria is fine. I think that Melissa Barrera is fine. I think there's a lot of actresses that you can choose that would be great picks in their own different ways. I definitely think you go curly hair Diana because number one, it distinctly is different from the previous iteration, and second, we get that George Perez look, and we're solid. I don't mind the physique of who Wonder Woman is. Because it's like Wonder Woman has never been canonically portrayed as someone who is like jacked. Like she is not the heavyweight muscle mommy that people think she is. Like she's never been traditionally depicted that way. The only times is maybe when she's like flexing. But even then you could easily do that with someone who's like 5'7". Like you don't need height to do that. You just need someone who is able to bulk up. And here's what I say. I don't think you hire a heavyweight person to play Diana. First of all, it's not even something that is consistently portrayed. But also, I think that in general, like, you're going to have to think about how they're going to scale that to all the other Amazons. Because even if you get someone who is, like, 6 feet and can act and has muscle, you then have to find, like, 10, 20 different other people who are able to be even bigger than that. Women who are able to be even bigger than that and can act. Because, yes, there's going to be some where you can get away with them not acting because they're just extras. You can get, like, the heavyweight, like, you can get, like, specific athletes to kind of stand in for those roles. But when it comes to Philippus, when it comes to Artemis, when it comes to Nubia, when it comes to the more important, bigger Amazons who do have a significant acting role, potentially, you need a good actor. And here's the thing. Wonder Woman is someone who is canonically one of the shorter of the Amazons. She just is. She's small. Like, that's one of her insecurities. That's why she wears heels. Because she's insecure about her height. So it's like you can have a 5'7" actress wear those heels, and it makes sense. And I think you're not even going to notice it when you're in the movie. Because, like, I don't think people understand Diana is insecure about her size because she doesn't like the fact that she's the smaller of the Amazons. Diana has to prove to everyone on that island that she is the best of them. That's because she is the smaller of them. Like, she is a small Amazon. So I think you drive in that point harder when you do actually have an actress who might not be as tall as what people perceive her to be. Because Diana does things to manipulate her height. She wears heels. For that specific reason. She works 10 times harder than any Amazon because she feels like she has to prove herself on the island that she deserves to be Wonder Woman. And she has many adversaries that challenge that. Artemis is one of them. So Artemis is, like, significantly bigger and stronger than Diana aesthetically, but Diana has a lot more skills in other areas. So here's the thing, right? Diana doesn't need to be a skyscraper. Artemis and Philippus do, and Nubia do, but not Diana. Like, we can have our big muscle mommy fetish thing, but, like, there's other options. There's other characters that will fill that role perfectly. Yeah, okay, guys, I see your comments. You don't have to spam your comments. I do see your comments. Um, okay. I think that the purpose of the Wonder Woman movie should do a couple of things. First of all, damage control. A lot of damage control is needed. Ton of damage control. I really think that the most important aspect is really getting Themyscira right. Because I do think that, 2017, I do think that they did a decent job. But I think people don't understand that the Amazons are a civilization. There's so many important characters in Diana's life that were gotten rid of in the first movie. You need to have the Greek gods play an integral part in the Wonder Woman story. Without the Greek gods, it's not Wonder Woman. That's not who Wonder Woman is. You can't kill off like a third of the characters and then expect to be able to do a sequel afterwards in the first movie. You can't rush. You can't rush these characters. You have to be able to take these characters and let them grow. Especially when it comes to Wonder Woman. Because Wonder Woman's side characters are one of the most... The side characters on Wonder Woman are treated so poorly by media. Even like the DCAU, as much as I love it, didn't do it. And there's specific reasons for that. Specifically one man who targeted specifically the Wonder Woman characters. Specifically a certain leader at that time. I don't remember his name. Because I know I do remember his name. It's freaking Dan. Freaking. I choose not to acknowledge his existence. That fucking bitch. Okay, we're just gonna. Okay. The side characters are actually probably even more important than getting Diana right. Because Wonder Woman has been done right, okay? She has. Not maybe in the best of ways, but she has. We have had the Lynda Carter show, and we have had many iterations that are decent, at least. The problem isn't getting Diana's character right. Diana's character is pretty easy to get right. The problem really is getting the others right. Because you have so many characters that Wonder Woman has that has never seen the light of day in terms of media presentation. We have Donna freaking motherfucking Troy, who continuously gets her team stolen from her and put with other people. Because people don't know that the Teen freaking Titans is Donna's team. Because the whole point is that Donna and Dick Grayson make this team together with others in mind. I need them to get I need them to get Donna Troy right. I don't care which project they introduce Donna Troy in. It could be the Wonder Woman movie. It could be the Teen Titans movie. I don't care as long as she... Okay, I do care to a slight degree. But I need Donna Troy to get her team back. I need Donna Troy to have her team back. Which team? The Teen Titans. Because that is her team. And she keeps getting left behind and forgotten about. Because freaking some dude who leads DC freaking hates Wonder Woman and refuses to let them use Donna Troy, even though they've had the rights to do so for many years. Imagine the fact that the fact that they couldn't use Donna Troy for the longest time, and then miraculously right at the end of season 3, is it? They are, yeah. Season what season are we on? What was the last season? I forgot. Season 4. My bad. Season 4. It just happens to land right after. Just happens to land right after a certain person leaves. Oh, here's the thing, Redback. It turns out that the Marston family hasn't owned the rights to Wonder Woman in a long time. Meaning there is absolutely nothing stopping them from using Donna Troy. Do you know what actually stopped them from using Donna Troy? A certain head of DC, a man that is my bane of existence, Dan Didio, is the reason why. The Marston family has nothing to do with it. Marston family is more of a scapegoat / excuse. But yes, it was in fact Dan Didio who hated the fact that Wonder Woman was so successful and being more successful than the boys, who decided, hey, we don't need to include all these Wonder Woman characters. Because if you break down Dan Didio's role, do you know what his role was? Do you know what projects he was in charge of? Teen Titans. Well, okay, he wasn't in charge of the Teen Titans, but he was the head at the time and in control of the Teen Titans, the show. And for some reason, Dan Didio fucking hates Wonder Woman. And he is the main, seems to be, okay, technically it's allegedly, I should say. Allegedly speaking. Because there's no proof. This is all just rumor and speculation. But it does kind of line up with everything. Like, I was told this, so there's no actual evidence. But I was told a theory that seems to be pretty accurate. If you line up the tenure of Dan Didio, it actually perfectly aligns with, like, Teen Titans and Young Justice. 2 projects that shafted Donna Troy. And miraculously, after he retired, guess who shows up in Young Justice? I'm not saying it's Dan Didio, but the timeline kind of makes sense. Just saying. Don't know for sure. It's all speculation. But seems to be pretty on the point. Now, I will say I don't have any proof. I don't know for sure, of course. But there is a lot of things being said about Dan Didio, like on Reddit, like apparently from like people who used to work for DC. Now, obviously, you can't really verify that, but Dan Didio is the reason why Batman has so many freaking comic books. Because he only wanted Batman to succeed. He didn't really care about the others. I mean, to be fair, it was more so that there was also, like, the Schuster family to keep in mind, of course. So, like, there was, like, you know, they had to pay money if they used Superman and stuff like that. They had to pay money if they wanted to use Wonder Woman. Sort of. Actually, not really, but from what I've seen in my research on the rights to Wonder Woman and stuff like that, like, it is completely owned by DC. There's a lot of, like, back and forth between that. But I'm pretty sure it's been pretty settled that DC does own Wonder Woman, and that there's nothing stopping them from using her Rogues Gallery members and stuff like that. To be fair, we don't really know for sure, but I mean, considering the fact that we're getting a Wonder Woman movie, and I think that likely, I think there's a good chance that Donna Troy ends up being in there. Maybe I'm just manifesting, because I really, really am hoping that we see Donna freaking Troy. Please. I'm begging. Please. Start with George Perez and go from there. Okay, so for Wonder Woman to start off with, definitely start with George Perez. He is the Bible. That's the Bible. It's the literal Bible of Wonder Woman. That omnibus is religiously studied and practiced by Wonder Woman fans. Also, Greg Rucka, but really, George Perez, at least start there. It is, I will say, it is long and lengthy, but if you really want to know the character that is Wonder Woman and the essence of her character, it's George Perez. It's George Perez. I think that it's good that they have a lot of comic talent involved in the DCU. But there's also a lot that they can do wrong. More specifically, when it comes to involving a certain creator in the Wonder Woman process, because technically they could use somebody in that Wonder Woman making process, but we're just going to say, pray to God, hope not. Anybody else, please. Please get a female writer to write Wonder Woman. The only person that I will give the green light to write a Wonder Woman script that is not female would be Greg Rucka. I would give the green light to George Perez, but he is 6 feet under, so he is not able to do that job. But Greg Rucka is the only man that I would give the green light to do the Wonder Woman script. It is a hefty price, sure, but it is 1,000% worth it. Also, you can get it on you can read through it on DC Infinite. I honestly highly recommend using DC Infinite for a lot of things, because that is where you get like everything, and you don't have to spend $180. I mean, you can, but like you don't have to. And I believe the full thing is on the DC Universe app. You might have to be on a higher tier, though. I can't remember if it's on the Ultra or the Basic, because I have, like, the Ultra one, which I actually do need to cancel before I go broke, so I definitely need to remember to do that. I'm trying to limit the subscriptions right now, because I'm just trying to limit my spending, because I went broke over Superman and comics. I say that like it's a joke, but like if I crunch the numbers on what I spent like in April, I think most of it was like comic books, which is not good when you are on your own, cause like it was like a lot per week. I think if you crunch the numbers, I would not like the numbers that came back. Anyways, we have kind of gone a long way from talking about Superman, so let's go back. I believe that Superman. I believe in Superman. I think that it will at least make $750. Now here's the thing. Based on all the hype, based on all the marketing, based on all the reception of this movie, based on what they've taken so far in steps of making sure everybody knows about this movie. You can't go anywhere without seeing Superman. I went to Lilo and Stitch and did not expect to see a Superman movie, but there was. I mean, not the movie, but the trailer. Like, it's in every movie theater. It is literally, if you go to a movie theater right now and go watch a movie, Superman's going to play in front of it. And that is one of the most critical parts of it. Telling moviegoers, making sure that they know that Superman is coming. And I think it's the same thing, probably. There's a lot of Superman marketing going on right now. They're working with, like, Milk-Bone, which is a huge, like, dog company that makes, like, dog treats. They're working with, like, a ton of different companies in terms of, like, marketing, sponsorship, and stuff like that, and deals and toys and things. They, even if they don't make the box office goal, which they probably will, even if they don't, I'm pretty sure the merchandise is funding it. Like, I'm pretty sure if we crank up the merchandise and we calculate how much merchandise has been sold and stuff like that, I think we're looking pretty good. Like, to be fair, I don't really know that. I'm making that shit up. But I'm pretty sure if I were to look at it right now, like, it would be, like, high up there. Because even, like, I mean, to be fair, I'm, like, the person who is funding this movie because I have spent a lot of money on this movie. And not just not just a small amount. Like, if I look at my let me see if I can find it, because, like, oh my god, I've ordered it so long ago that I don't even think that I can find what I've ordered. Like, I think it's just gonna be a surprise. I did cancel some of the pre-orders because it was a little bit excessive, but I just remember, like, I ordered, like, so much, like, merchandise. I know I got. I'm getting the crypto plushie. That I do know, because there's a crypto plushie, and I did say that if there was a crypto plushie, I would get it, and I'm 100% getting that crypto plushie. I can't even find the receipts. That's how far away they were. Wait, maybe if I just type in Superman. Okay, that one I got. Oh my god. The crypto plushie looks so cute. And it's not a bad price either. Let me see. Let me see if I can show you it without, like, doxing myself. Oh, no, I don't think that. Oh, look. Oh. There we go. It looks so cute. Like, actually, I could probably just find an image. 1 second. Like, it looks so cute. I might get, like, different versions. That's the last thing that I need to get. But, like, I think there's, like, gonna be, like, different versions of the plushie, too. But he's such a good boy. Some of the stuff I got was unofficial merch, so it's not really technically funding the movie. It's just stuff that I really thought were cool. Okay, I got the image. I got the image of the good boy. So let me just put it out. Like, I feel like this is gonna be a toy to get for, like, people's, like, birthday and stuff like that. Like, I already got it, but, like... I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look how cute he looks. I swear to God, they should make a squeaky toy. If they don't already have one, like, I mean, Crypto's squeaky toy. I think, no. See, I think that they need to do a little bit more. I think, I think I need to see a little bit more crypto merch, specifically targeted for dogs. Not. There's like a bandana though. There's a super dog bandana that you can get for your dog. There's a lot of merch. Anyways, I think I'm gonna end it because we did talk a lot, but definitely gonna do more lives. I do post the lives onto YouTube, by the way, in case you missed it. But for now, I'll see y'all later. Bye. Yes, I'm buying the merch. I already got it. Oh, buying you the plush. No, sorry, I'm already broke. I don't have any more money left.